Hello, Bal.
Hey, David. Good morning.
Where are you located?
I'm in Bay Area.
Okay, so then good morning to you too.
Okay, that's good. So, how would you?
Yeah, Bay Area too.
Oh, Bay Area. Okay, nice to hear. Um, so, David, I'm not able to finalize the documentation for the ongoing discussion. So, maybe I propose like maybe this call we can skip it and we can deep dive in the next one.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Um,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
but
if
I'm
you,
not sure whether you have something to discuss or we can maybe skip it for this time.
yeah, if you want, we can spend a few minutes to work on the stuff. If not, we can skip it. That's fine too. Uh, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. So I'm kind of doing some research to find out the most relevant piece of problem statements.
okay,
So yeah, I have reached out to a few documents and the ongoing challenges. Right. Yes, we do not want to bore the content with the theoretical informations, which everybody knows it.
yeah, yeah,
So
no.
if we can add, yeah, crucial ongoing problem statement and how we can use this TDK. So
Hmm.
I think that will be more appropriate.
Yes, I think one of the things we should also work on is at least my mental map was um, kind of create at least attempt to create a kind of a flow chart with different personas and what data is flowing around and
Mm-hmm.
what each persona does. I think that would at least help me for me help me understand where and what fits in the overall flow of things.
Right, right. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I just recently published the thermal workflow internally within the Siemens. Like so, I have nicely sketched the different tools involved and the different collaterals involved, and what specific test requirements are there. Right, so that
Yeah.
way people can appreciate. I think it's a multi-layer problem statement.
Yes.
And we have to paint it with the right picture, like so for each unique color coding style, like so something similar to what we have did a presentation last year for the IO planning, right?
Right.
So yeah, so yeah, I can come up with something like that or the draft diagram and we can discuss
Mm.
it and update it next at the next session.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Just a reminder, um, you need to probably strip all the Siemens confidential information from that and just
Mhm.
focus on the high
Right.
level
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
persons,
Yeah.
persons and data flow. I mean,
Hmm.
persona and data flow.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, I think that would be the right way to approach this.
Yes. Yeah.
And then once we have that sketched out, we can figure out what pieces we need in CDXML to support what pieces, right?
Right. Right.
Do you participate in the IEEE test standards work group? I'm not sure whether that's the right name, but the IEEE has a group that works on tests. Do you participate in that?
No, no, not yet. Like so somebody Pratyush Kama.
Yes.
Yeah, so he is working on that. So if you have any specific question, maybe I can bring him in on the next meeting.
No, it's not necessarily one thing, right? What we want to do is really let IEEE define the test standards. We really don't want to do that. If there is anything we can contribute to them, that would be awesome, right? But we want to let them drive that because they have quite a bit of very wide participation from different,
Right. Yeah, but
vendors and users, right?
right.
Uh,
But IEEE is very slow, right? That's what the feedback we got it from Tony also. So where he kind of indicated that we do not want to tailgate them in that
Yeah,
regard. So like yes, our scope of activity is needs to complete sooner than them.
yeah. IEEE, the only time they worked really fast was when, if I'm not sure if you guys if you remember Open Office, when it was
Uh-huh.
released, they contributed their format as IEEE specification, and IEEE started the process. So Microsoft didn't want to be left out, so
Hmm.
they contributed their docx and PPTX and things like that as IEEE standards, and they
Okay.
managed to push those through IEEE in a matter of 6 months.
That's fast, really. Yeah. But that is only the software world, right? So there's no hardware involved there.
Yeah, it's software and it was
Yeah.
Microsoft, right? So they got it
Right.
done real
Exactly.
fast.
Yeah. They had all the data there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
everybody agreed that it's a good idea to have open Microsoft format.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do that then. Um, then today we're gonna have a very short meeting. We'll if you want to touch base offline, Balan, let me know.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
I'll definitely reach out to you. Like maybe yes, I'm this week is totally busy for me.
mhm.
So maybe sometime next week we can plan.
Yeah, sometime late next week, earliest.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be available the first a few days of the week, so and then we can see what it is.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, are you available? Tony is flying down here to Santa Clara.
I'm not. I'm gonna be out of town,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay. No, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Tony then. Uh, yeah, but I'm gonna be out of town myself. So
Okay, okay. Yeah, I plan to have a brief discussion with him on our TDK versus the tie related activity that he's working on, right?
hmm
So he kind of trying to achieve two mangoes in one stone.
yeah,
Uh,
of course.
yeah, so yeah, I want to touch upon like how is that going along and
Yeah,
where we are going to converge.
right. Yeah, Thai activity is interesting. I don't know why they started with their own format. I don't know why. Kind of blows my mind, but uh, it is what it is.
That's right. That's right. So they I think they announced the PDK for the bumps and probes related stuff uh, for the
Oh, okay.
multi-die. So
Oh,
those collaterals, I think they are planning to deliver across all the EDA tool vendors.
nice.
Yeah, I think they are making some progress, but it is delayed progress now.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Uh, 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 everybody else, what's on your mind? Any comments or topics you want to discuss? Aurelian, Boone, Matt?
No, not from.
No, I'm working with Anu here and catching up, so I
Oh,
don't want to bother the group while I'm.
yeah. Hey, Matt. Have we met before?
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay. Are you familiar with what CDX does at a high level?
at a high level, yeah, but I'm just starting to dive into it. So
Okay. So you work with Anu at Microchip?
yes,
Okay, cool. Do you want to do a quick intro and we'll all do the same as well so we kind of get to know each other?
okay. Well, I'm Matt Holdridge. I'm the same basic job title as Anu, uh, focusing on standards lately, more in the data center space, of course. So
Mm.
that's why I'm participating in OCP, and will increase my participation as we go forward.
Okay, welcome to the to CDX then. We're looking forward to your participation. I call it the CDX workstream. Otherwise, in my other time, I spend a lot of time on chiplet planning, anything to do with power, thermal, packaging, all the easy stuff, a quote unquote. So that's what I do in my when I'm not here.
Very good.
Bala dropped off. Aurelien and Boone, do you want to do a quick intro to Matt?
Yeah, sure. Yes, Aurelien Mozipo with Altera. So working with David on the chiplet POC, mostly focusing on the power and definitely trying to drive some very good power delivery for the chiplets.
Okay, very good.
Chong from Intel. Mainly work with two flows, some methodology improvement, and PPA push.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Sergey. Welcome to CDX. Have we met before?
No, I'm from AMI.
Okay. What brings you to CDX?
Just explore additional possibilities since we are firmware providers. It's interesting to know how to communicate with chipset people.
Okay.
And with reference code.
Yes. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
We just did a quick intro for ourselves. I lead CDX. CDX focuses on two pillars. One is data exchange for chiplets. And that's where the work stream name comes from, chiplet data exchange or chiplet design exchange. And our second pillar is workflows, right, for integrating chiplets together.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. So
Awesome.
because I mean anyway, so you guys need to communicate with the general firmware, and my presence here just to figure out what the chiplet architecture needs from like a system firmware.
Okay.
So kind of tables, interface discovery, verification, all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, wonderful. Do you also attend the FCSA meeting?
No, I'm just starting. So I tried once, but looks like it was either canceled or nobody showed up.
Okay. Yeah, I think they meet once in a while. But FCSA is important because they really deal with chiplet architecture.
Yeah, I got it. So I'm just I'm just trying to figure out what I actually need.
Yeah.
So, but when you read in documentation, sometimes it's not clear what to expect from the group. But once you attend, so you will know whether it's yours or you just can move on.
Yep. So CDX right now, we run two different topics and we alternate topics every 2 weeks. So this week was a test design kit. Basically, we focused on the focus is on test insertion for chiplets and stitching test, all the chains and things like that. But I think that may be also relevant to you when we start talking about in-system tests, right? I'm assuming that the firmware will have to drive things in some way.
Yeah, at least just trigger certain sets of tests.
Right. Yeah. One of the things we also work with JEDEC. I'm not sure if you work with JEDEC, but JEDEC has also been kind of it's a tangential thing in a way, but we have been talking about it here as specifically chip modes of operation. right? The way we were thinking about it, right? You have different functional modes, but then there's a whole bunch of different test modes. So we kind of started defining that. JEDEC has been working on parallel track. They actually got quite ahead in defining how do you put a chip in a specific test mode, right? Or a specific mode. Do you load registers? Do you set some registers? Do you trigger signals, pins, things like that? So I see a common area here, right? Where, at least from firmware point of view, you would probably want to know if when somebody tells you, hey, I want to go in this mode, what does that mean in terms of firmware, right? Which registers do you set? What values do you set? And how do you know when you're in that mode, and how do you get out of that mode? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So today we are going to have a short meeting. We'll probably do a little bit longer meeting, not longer, we'll do full-time meeting next week. What we have been discussing is with Bala a little bit of the test instruction workflow. So in 2 weeks, we're going to get back to the test design kit. Next week is SIPI kit meeting, which alternates another 2 weeks after that. So I think we can conclude for today, unless anybody has any topics they would like to discuss. Okay. That means everybody agrees we can conclude early. All right. Well, thanks, guys. And I'll see you next week for SIPI kit and in 2 weeks for test design kit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
All right,
you
guys.
too.
Thank you.
Bye.